I'm Dr. K. I am part Irish and part French. So therefore, I can't go into a bar because I might pick a fight and then surrender. You want a piece of me? You can have one. I saw a guy walking into a bar wearing an NFL jersey. I said, why are you wearing your wife beater in public? He had his girlfriend with him. She was wearing one of those spaghetti strap blouses. She looked like a prostitute. On TV, I see Henry Winkler pitching reverse mortgages to senior citizens. I think that's a Fonzie scheme. You ever wonder why Mormons never win the Tour de France? I think it's because they keep stopping at houses. I have a doorbell that plays Happy Birthday. Ding, 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 ding. I use it to scare off Jehovah's Witnesses. Every time a doorbell rings, a Jehovah's Witness angel gets its wings. Angels are overrated. I say that because my daughter donated her hair to a charity that makes wigs for cancer patients. And angels only give up their hair to make pasta. Dear Lord, I want to thank you for this meal and for all the angels that are bald because of it. Please bless them with some holy Rogaine. My daughter's overrated. She was homeschooled by her mom. I'd get straight A's too if my dad slept with a teacher. And people wonder why I'm no longer married to her mom. Once she got to college, I was useless. Oh, yes, I was once a POW, prisoner of wife. After 20 years of marriage, my first wife filed for divorce on Martin Luther King Day. And all I could say was, free at last, thank God Almighty I'm free at last. Just kidding. It was a state holiday. The courthouse was closed. She filed the day after. But being single in my 40s, I found was to be very weird. I mean, I tried that social media dating. I wasn't very savvy at that. I'm so old school that the first time I saw a karaoke machine, I thought it was a record player closed caption for the deaf. I thought plentyoffish.com was a website for mermaids. I noticed on plentyoffish.com, though, several women wrote in their profiles that I'm not interested in FWB. And I was going, what do they have against Free Will Baptists? I know they meant friends with benefits. Or as black people call it, homosexuals. Oh, but I got tired of being single in my 40s, and I did get married when I was 51. I got married again about a year and a half ago. I married a very nice lady. She sells houses for Metro First, which makes me a metrosexual. It's fun being... Yes. But, you know, it's fun being married to a realtor because on Friday nights, I can drive past a strip club and say, honey, look, a parade of broken homes. But my wife, bless her heart, she said that before she met me, she had sworn off men. And I can believe that because when I met her, she owned 3 cats. She was moving in that direction. Now, cats are a great audience because all I have to do is tell them knock-knock jokes and the curiosity just kills them. So now my wife has one cat. But, you know, they say marriage is a big step. But when you're my age, it's a bunch of little steps. Step-children, step-grandchildren, step-great-grandchildren, and what have I just stepped in? We've got 3 rungs on the stepladder. I mean, she's got great-grandbabies. I'm not used to having babies around, you know. My daughter's 30, okay, so I'm almost 30, so it's been that long since I've had a baby around, and things have changed. I mean, today's car seats are safer than they were 30 years ago. But that's because after you spend 15 minutes trying to buckle the kid in, you decide to stay home so he never goes out on the road to have an accident. And they have something called honest diapers. What is that? Honest diapers. I mean, all new diapers are honest. It's the used ones that are full of it. I went to the chiropractor, and he said, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Well, I've got a 13-year-old pain in the neck and a 12-year-old pain in the butt. But enough about the grandchildren. Let's talk about my back." My wife has guardianship of 2 of her grandchildren. She went to court, went from a special judge. They call him a special judge because he's slower than the other judges. And she got guardianship of 2 of her grandchildren. Now, I'm not going to talk about them because, you know, there's a 13-year-old girl involved, and she's what you call, here tonight. So I'm not going to have her going in the car afterwards saying, "Nana, oh my God, why'd you let him talk about me?" You know, so I'm not going to say anything about her, the fact that she seems to have a superstition about putting shoes on in the house. She always carries them out to the car and puts them on because, yeah, when you say that to a 13-year-old, that's like a major invasion of privacy. "Oh, my God, why are you asking me this?" So I'm not going to talk about my grandchildren. I'm going to talk about church. It's great to be performing in a church. I like going to churches. I like how they tell you that what you give to church comes back to you tenfold. And that makes sense since God has a Jewish son. Yeah, you know, he makes that money grow. Good return on investment. And you know God is everywhere when you're in Oklahoma because every time a business closes down or relocates, a church opens up in the vacant building. Which is great because you don't have to tell somebody your business failed. You can just say, "God needed the property," okay? And they don't give it much of a facelift. You get confused when you're driving down the street. You're like, "I'm going to get a burger and, oh, community outreach, okay. I got to stop for some gas here. No, oh, Church of God, never mind." Church of God, that's generic. But apparently at some point God told Sam Walton that he needed some property, so all the Walmarts became super centers and left behind their old buildings, and that was a big boost for the charismatic movement. It was like, "Hey, we got ourselves a department store. Look in there, they left name tags for ushers. If we take over Sears, Joyce Meyer will come visit us." I mean, before that, Journey Church in Norman occupied what used to be a buy for less grocery store. Now, call me old-fashioned, call me traditional, call me Presbyterian, whatever, but I cannot attend worship in a church that used to be a supermarket. I keep thinking the minister's going to say, "Okay, it's Communion Sunday. Everybody line up at aisle 6 for the bread. This is an open communion, white, whole wheat, sourdough, rye. Pick up your grape juice at the demo table. Look for communion bagels." And remember when you give your tithes and offerings that this is double coupon day, so it comes back 20-fold. Thank the Lord that Jesus is Jewish. And when you feel tempted by the impulse aisles of life, let Jesus put you in the express lane to salvation. There's a lady next door, goes to church at a store, and she's taking the safe way to heaven. I often wonder what Jesus was like as a teenager. Did Joseph ever have to say, "Shut that door, Jesus"? Were you born in a barn? I don't have to listen to you, Joseph. You're not my real dad. You've been listening to those three wise guys again? Just Maury Povich. Why are you coming in so late, Jesus? Have you been out drinking and dancing with your friends? Now, Joseph, you know I wasn't out drinking and dancing. Why? Because you're the Son of God? No, because I was with my cousin John, and he's a Baptist. He doesn't do those kind of things. We were at the donut shop. You were eating donuts with John the Baptist? Well, I was eating them. He was dunking them for me. You know, he may have a talent. On Northwest Expressway in Oklahoma City, there's a place called the Resurrection Cemetery. Is that a guarantee? I mean, it's a good business model. Instead of selling the plots, you just rent them out. And that's close to Bethany, and according to the Bible, Lazarus is from Bethany. Of course, in the Bible, it also says that God is an OSU recruiter. Yep, it says, "He leadeth me beside still water." That's my time. Thank you very much.